If any of you are in New York City on this coming Saturday, August 10th, 9 a.m. till 6 p.m, you can meet Vic in Times Square, very close to the Crown Plaza on Broadway. Roll it. Hello and welcome back to Come Geek Some. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for all future content. We have Ty's response to the disregard of defendant's late filings. We're going to jump straight into it. So, obviously we got the first page here. So it is only a few pages long, only 5 pages. You know, victim in the honour, plaintiff's motion to strike or disregard defendant's late filings. The Honourable Judge of said court, the plaintiff requests that the court strike the documents defendants filed in support of the TCPA motions to dismiss, which were filed after the deadline to file their motions to dismiss, and disregard all affirmative defences filed after the deadline for their motions to dismiss. Obviously, it goes through the background then of what they are, and obviously the actual TCPAs that they've actually filed. The defendants, the deadline for defendants, Monica Real and Ronald Toy, motion to dismiss, was June the 18th. Plaintiff agreed to a joint motion agreed order extending their deadline to July 19th, and Real and Toy filed their motion to dismiss on July 19th. Subsequently, Real and Toy filed defendants Monica Real and Ronald supplemental affirmative defence, so the supplemental defence for the TCPA, on July 26th, a week after the deadline for their motion to dismiss. And defendants Monica Real and Ronald Toy supplemented to all this on July 30th. 11 days after the deadline. So we're going down to the actual argument now that Ty and all them have put forth. A motion to dismiss a legal action under the TCPA must be filed no later than the 60th day after the date of service of the legal action, unless extended by the trial court for good cause. Obviously it goes on then, Texas civil practice and all these. The issue here is whether the TCPA permits supplementing a motion to dismiss after the 60-day deadline has passed. The TCPA does not state whether supplementation after the 60-day deadline is permitted, unlike, for example, the procedural rule governing summary judgment motions, which permits the filing of supporting evidence up to 21 days before the motion's hearing date. Rather, the TCPA imposes an express deadline for filing the motion to dismiss based on the date of service, and reviewing courts consistently have held that this deadline is firm. It goes on to a few other Texas state, what's happening and all this. And it's really good to see this happen because we've spoken about this in the past where a lot of people think that Monica and Ron and all these people, that they're doing this on purpose. They're just literally filing so much stuff. And they're like, oh, here we are. Even though it's things we've seen before. Obviously, like like in the last video, we saw that Scott's document. He goes, oh, well, look at this here. And it's the same one we've already seen, They filed it again. The Polygon, the IO9, the Anime News Network, all these different websites. We've seen it all before on the same document. They are literally just saying, oh, well, here you are, read this, and they're just giving so much stuff to Ty. It's almost like, right, okay, give him everything we can, even if you have to give it to him 2 or 3 times. Make sure he has to read it all, It's almost like, oh, I can't be bothered to read this. That's what it seems that they're going for. That they're just going to throw so much information at Ty, and he's a bit like, you know what, this is it, I can't be bothered with this, we'll do something now, or we'll try it. But it's not. Ty is actually a really clever person of what he's doing, and he's like, right, okay, yep, let's do it. You keep handing me all that, and I'll just keep, throwing it all down, which is fantastic. So, it does go on again, the court begins the statutory language at the surest guide to what lawmakers intend, and the alpha and omega of the interceptive process. And it's got a few other things, and the court presumes that the legislator include each word in the statute for a purpose, and that words not included were purposefully omitted. So they're going on about certain things that's happened, obviously, and obviously certain words weren't even included. And when you look down towards the bottom, it does say, obviously, Indeed, the court must enforce the statute as written and refrain from rewriting texts that lawmakers choose. So he's bringing in other cases and everything else that has happened. So here the TCPA unambiguously states that a motion to dismiss must be filed by a date certain, 60 days after service, and that a hearing must be conducted by a date certain. Texas law practice, yep, we got the different codes, but it does not state that supplementation is permitted after the deadline. Since the court is to presume that the legislator intentionally omitted any provision for supplementing a motion to dismiss after its filing deadline, bringing in someone else. And it's really good that, he keeps bringing this up. It's almost like, well, why isn't this there even though we told you you can't do this? It's very, very, very fascinating document. So it's only 5 pages, and as you can see, it's just literally then, a few other things. A couple of signatures and a couple of dates of when this was all done, August 7th. So obviously that's really good. So literally it came out yesterday, and I think it's really good. Obviously the plaintiff requests that the court strike FUNimation's first supplement, FUNimation's second, and Real and Toy supplement. Disregard the supplement defense for purposes of the court TCP analysis, and order defendants not to file any further documents or evidence in support of the TCPA. So with that there, I think it's really good. You will get people on the other side saying, oh, well, they're only doing that because they don't want evidence. It's like, actually, no, it's just because they keep handing them people the same stuff. They keep handing them files and files of papers, and it's all the same stuff. It's things that they've seen before, So it's going to be really interesting to see how Ty brings this to the level, and how the actual court and the judge and everyone else, how they look at this and think, actually, you know what? Yeah, no more. You were late in filing this anyway. Why didn't you file this before? And it wouldn't surprise me if they bring up some stupid reason, like, oh, well, we're doing this just so you're clear, just so you know what's going on. And it's great. So I can see Ty wiping the floor with people with this one, so it's going to be really good. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see all you lovely people soon.